executing the test, meaning send to one more apps. Okay. So the definition you can say is like simply one thing. Test execution by a human is known as manual testing. So this is the brief, you can say, overall, the main thing that is necessary. If the human gets involved in executing the test scripts or the actual flow is known as manual testing. But as per the automated testing, that things will be done by automated tools. And what are those basic automated tools? There are a lot of plenties, you can say, automated tool we have. One for, you can say, UI, and one for API, one for performance testing. There are different automation tools that we have in the market. Right now, you will see the lot of opportunity in Selenium, or you can say Playwright as the UI perspective. For automation for API thing, there is a rest assured tools that is associated with it. So that's why the major point, or why the everyone ask you, you have a knowledge about the Java is this, because in the rest assured, most of the libraries has been supported by the Java. And similarly, that Java is also supported by the Selenium. So the curriculum for our next lectures is all about the Java perspective. So this is the basic idea, you can say, difference between manual and the automated testing. Manual is done by the human, and automated testing was done by the tools. And the tools such as Selenium or the rest assured. These are the basic tools that is necessary for it. And similarly, for mobile automation, there is known as APM tool that is necessary for it. So these are the, you can say that you should have an idea about it. So the key activity for any, you can say, either you are doing the manual testing or the automated testing, is the test case designing. Once you design the test cases, then the second activity which is necessary is the execution. What the test case you have designed. After the test case execution, whatever the flow, for example, you was asked to perform a testing on Instagram.com. So this is the Instagram.com. This is the username. This is the password. If I enter the correct username, then it will able to log in. If I provided an invalid username and the correct password, it will throw us an error. Similarly, so these are the test cases that we are going to write it. Okay, so these are the things that is necessary for you for test case design and execution. Any doubt, guys, so far? You can just drop a note in the chat section, or you can just speak up if you have any doubt so far. Okay. So these are the key activity which is necessary for manual testing. All those key activity will be also involved in the automated testing. In the automated testing, that execution, this is the second phase for testing process, will be done by the tool. Test case design also is a manual activity. Defect logging is also a manual activity, but it can be achieved by the automation, it by the Jira tool itself only. Once the automated test has been failed, we will create that will link to the Jira itself only. That can also done, but most of the time we are not going to do that, because sometimes script get failed, not because of the defect, but because of the slowness in the framework, or you can say slowness on the web pages. Sometimes other activities gets involved. So these are the things that you can say gets defect logging associated with it. So this is the basic manual testing that etiquettes you should have an idea. So just give me one sec, I'm getting one call, just give me one sec. Sorry guys, So these are the basic thing that you necessary for the manual testing that you should have an idea. Then what are the benefits of the manual testing? As you can see, the manual testing involves the test case designing, then the execution, and then the bug logging. So these are the basic key activity which involved in the manual testing. So all these things will involve some potentials. So what are those potential? When you designing the test cases, you will see the exploratory thing, or you can say initial staging of SDLC will leads to some review processes, or you can say bugs associated with it that can lead for better UI perspective. So these are the test case design that will help you. Once you execute, you will see the potential errors that can occur in the execution flow. For example, in this username, I have providing one of the username, and similarly, I have provided one incorrect password. If if username is incorrect and password is incorrect, and still I am able to log in without any error like this, then this is the potential issue that can occur. So this is known as exploratory testing, or you can say error prone testing. Once you will see the execution causes a bugs that will defect logging and will help us for a better improvement in the team developing the framework, or you can say the software that we use. For example, you are using any mobile application in your mobile. For example, that you are using WhatsApp. If there are less more bugs, more UI issues, more text errors, or you can say the photos images are blur, or photos images are not sending properly, so these are the conditions which can causes during a you can say execution. So that will help us, or degrade the user you can say perspective how the application is working. So to tackle these, the testing team will always be in the organization. You will see there are a lot of opportunities in the manual testing or the automation testing. That's why, because every organization needs either a manual tester or the QA tester, but more opportunity for the automation tester, because if there are, if anyone have idea about the automation testing, then he can able to do that, or he can able to perform the manual testing. But if you are involved in the manual testing, you generally don't do the automation testing. So that's why, or any organization will ask you if you have working knowledge of the automation or not. So this is the why we switch from manual to the automation testing, and that is why you are going to understand or a automation tester. First thing, you should have an idea about how to read a requirement. Once the requirement reading was done, you have a perspective how the application will work. For example, I will ask you to check this application. So I will provide one documentation first, how this UI will look like, and what is the action. Once I provide the input, how does this application behave? All those necessary details will be provided to you. Once you have those documentation, then you are going to convert into the test case designing on that part. So this is the flow which actually you are doing in a manual tester. If you are I hope you are working, or someone is still exploring those things, they will be altercation in the real time perspective is these things. Generally, you are going to rise the test cases, you are going to execute, and the defect logging. So that's why these are the key activities. Other activities, either the requirement analysis, the document test closure documents, the management, all those things, and that can be level up things for QA lead, or you the QA manager, or the QA manager. So all those things will be involved in the later perspective. But being an automation tester or a manual tester, these are the key activities that you are going to do a lot of time. This is the example for the login page. Similarly, if you are, let's say, I'm going to check with the Amazon.com. So this is the Amazon.com. If I navigate to the Amazon.com, I'm able to open this, you can say the product. I'm able to add to the cart. Once I add to the cart, that cart is visible with the details which I have added. There in the product which I have been chosen is not appearing. The amount is correct. All those things is also involved in the testing perspective. So add product, apply discount coupons, enter address, place orders for the e-commerce is also working perfectly. So these are the, you can say, why the manual testing is involved. If all those processes have an issues, that means uh, this will leads to a disastrous things, right? So these are the point that you should have an idea of being a manual tester. Then we are going to the limitation of the manual testing. So first is the time consuming for the regression, prone to the human errors and not scalables. What does these limitations represent here? So the first thing is time consuming. You can see every time if you are for Amazon.com, major perspective, major things that is necessary is placing an order because nearly 1 lakh people on the daily basis are ordering on the Amazon.com. So this action will doesn't uh, provide, or you can say uh, this is you can say, yeah, this is the first lecture, guys. Devraj, just give me one sec. I'm getting one more call. Hello. Uh, right. So the limitation for you can say manual testing is the first is the time consuming. If the regression involves all the times again and again, sometimes you can skip the bugs. But if you have automated that regression using an automated tool, either using Selenium, either using a rest assured, so you can say the tool will detect the bugs. Tool will perform the actions, but tool won't uh, you can say human errors. So that's why for reduction of the human errors, we switch from manual to the automation testing. So this is the brief idea why the what is the manual testing about it. And as you know, the topic is all about the automation perspective. We are switching from the manual to automation. So the why the automation is necessary that we are going to discuss it now. So why go for an automation? If you are involved with the manual testing, then you will see the faster execution in automation because you already have written the scripts and that will be writing a better speed you can say. Reusability of a code, reliability because there are no error, human errors can be involved. If there is no human error, then there will be more reliable product you can say during a regression. Supports the CI/CD. It will auto trigger. You don't need to do anything at every in most organization. People used to have run the scripts around 10 p.m. or sometimes they generally do execute at the sprint end. You can say after 14 days, or you can say the bi-weekly or the weekly. It depends. So they are supporting the CI/CD. CI/CD simply means in the general perspective, it says continuous integration, continuous development. That means the things, or you can say if there is any changes has involved, the development and the testing go in hand to hand, and the execution will be involved line by line. There is no such breakage into that part. So this is the brief idea you can say. But in as per the CI/CD, you can say uh, the CI/CD is known as the pipeline thing. Once you provide is there, let's say there are 10 modules, module number 1 to module number 10, but that has been already been pushed to the production. Now in the next sprint there is a module number 11 gets involved. Once you push the module number 11, automatically the module number 1 to module number 10, all the regression code or the regression test, the test execution which you have automated, gets auto triggered. Also module number 11 which you have written a code also gets triggered. So that means module number 1 to module number 11, every regression suits will execute once you push the code. So this is known as CI/CD thing. So when to automate? So the next thing is why we need an automation testing. why we have switched to the manual to automation testing. First, repetitive test cases. Let's say there are 100 test cases. There are 100 test cases that you needs to execute on the daily basis. But being an automation tester, you have already automated 60 out of it. That means at every 10 p.m. you are going to run the test this 60, for example. So in the morning, which test cases you are needs to execute? Only remaining the 41. So that means you have a lesser exposure, or you can say lesser time consuming in executing the test cases if you are having 100 test cases. Let's instead of 100 there are, let's in the real time perspective, if you are working with a big organization, you will see 2000, 3000 near number of test cases being executed on the daily basis. But you can say you already have achieved 70% automation. That means you need to only execute 30%, or that 70 will generate a report. You will check those reports and perform a certain things. Let's say out of 60 there are 40 test cases that has been passed, 20 test cases has been failed. That means these 20 plus these 40, these things you need to execute on the manual on the next day. Instead of executing the 100 scripts again and again, you only needs to execute 50 right now because 40 has been already been executed. So this is why the automation testing involved in the real time perspective. I hope you everyone able to understand so far. So what does the repetitive test cases you have involved? We have done now. So now the higher risk functionality. Let's say being an automation tester in the Amazon.com. Amazon.com have a higher functionality. What are those higher functionality? First is placing an order. Second is the cart button working fine. Third thing is payment. So these are the three basic functionality which daily basis nearly 1 lakh orders has been placed. Similarly, in Microsoft, which tools generally people used? First is Teams. Second is Outlook for mailing purpose. Third is you can say Excel, or you can say the Word perspective. So these are the let's say this Excel will be associated with the organization level. People generally do have you can say SharePoint details. That SharePoint details will be linked to that. So let's say Microsoft, these are the major probability, or you can say functionality. Similarly in Amazon, if anything breaks into that part, that will lead to a disastrous thing. So that's why people generally do an automation on these things, whether it's a Teams, whether it's a tool, whether it's a Excel. Similarly in Amazon, placing an order, uh, payment is working fine or not, add to cart is working fine. The you can say the product which I have chosen is also appearing perfectly or not. You can say this is known as why we have moved to the manual to automation testing for higher risk functionality. If we are achieve the manual to the automation functionality, that means we have achieved a better knowledge. So since generally, for manual tester, we are not going to execute on the multiple platforms such as Windows, iOS, Linux, Unix, any sort of things. Similarly, for cross browser such as Google Chrome, Microsoft Safari, or sorry, Apple Safari, Microsoft Edge, or the Firefox, all those different browsers we have, right? So automations provide all those things. Sir, but isn't doing automation makes it a kind of a black box testing? Or for a second case? No, automation perspective is not a black box actually, because you already have all the commands how your scripts will be executing. That means if you are providing let's say there are 5 tests involved on the login page. First test is positive, valid. Second is invalid username and password valid. Third is valid. So you are going to provide all those necessary data by using a code. That means you have all the rights. You have, you can say, coding perspective. So that's why you can say it's a not a black box, it's a white box testing. So this is the first session. This is just an introduction test session. Okay, guys. If you are commenting. So these are the, you can say, important perspective that you should have an idea. By providing a cross-browser and platform testing, and this will help you for more, you can say, coverage, right? I will, there is one demo, or you can say one real-time thing that you will see. If you are using a WhatsApp in your phone, in some there is a bug which associated with the iOS in nearly 5 to 10 days back, but that bug is not showing on the you can say Android. The messages are not sending, and it was sending by the only single tick. It was not showing the double ticks to the person. Even if gets delivered to the person, it's nearly 20 to 30 minutes. That bug has been associated with it. So that's why the cross browser testing, or you can say cross platform testing, is necessary, because that will help you for more coverage. If that script was associated with the iOS, and also that script has been already achieved by the Android phone, that bug can be caught, right? So that's why you can say cross browser is necessary. Similarly, there is a cross browser. Let's say on Amazon, this is a Chrome browser. If I open this and add this page, this same page I will be choosing to view in a Firefox. Let's say instead of Firefox, let's check the Microsoft Edge. So same UI will be Amazon. Now, why it's opening Bing again and again. You can see this. You can see this Edge is pretty slow. So if I add this product, let's say if I add this product on this Microsoft Edge, you can see the UI is still remain same, right? If I go to the cart, you can see the product, the cart which I have shown is the Edge is similar here in the, you can say, in Microsoft Safari as, or Microsoft Chrome Windows, right? So this is why the cross browser is necessary. If something breaks up during a testing in the Microsoft Edge, that means if someone is using the Microsoft Edge, that will lead to a bug, right? So to reduce the bug count, we have achieved the cross browser testing. So sometimes in the real time perspective, you can say people generally used to have like this approach. They needs to test first time on the Chrome browsers, then they will write a code that script will run every time on the Chrome browser. But being an you can say every 14 days, using a support CI/CD pipeline, they will set it up at every 14th. Instead of running the Chrome browser, it will running on the Firefox browsers. So that can also be done in the real time perspective when we dealing with the automation perspective for the cross browser thing. So this is the, let's discuss about the basic identification, how, where the automation is useful. First is smoke test, which I have taught you. Let's say there are 50 plus test cases that needs to be executed at every build, you can say, the developer has provided to you. So instead of running the manual things, we already we will try to write a script using an automation. That script we just need to run the script automatically. They will provide you a report. Go to the report, you will see which test script is passing, which test script is not passing. If everything is working, there is no such test cases were failing, that means the build is successful, that we will move to the next process. So that's why the automation is very useful, and that's why people in most organization is asking the automation, because they will reduce the repetitive test cases. It will provide you better coverage on the high risk functionalities as well. Didn't get it. Can you simple? Yeah. So the in the cross browser simply means if you are testing in Safari, also the same thing will be executed into the Chrome. Similarly, in the Edge as well. If everything was working in the Safari, everything was working in the Chrome. If everything is working in the Edge, so that means your test case is working fine. So this is known as cross browser. You are testing on the multiple browsers, same script. Okay. Then you can say regression pack for the loan calculator. If you are have some complex calculations, we need this to be manipulated or validated. That means these things can be also achieved using an automation perspective as well. So I hope you are able to understand why automation is necessary. And the third perspective, which is internal thing, is the monetary basis. You will see in most organization, manual testing have a lesser opening. First point. Second, there is a lesser salary they are providing to you, right? If you switch from manual to automation, what thing you will notice? You will see boom into the industry market as per the monetary basis. Similarly, more job opportunity you will see. Correct. So that's why automation is necessary, and that's why you are probably joining this lecture as well, I guess. Okay. So, topic three for today's is why we need a framework development from scratch. So, first, we need to understand what is framework. Second, why we need to develop from the scratch, right? So, first is what is framework? So, framework simply means structuring the code in a easy manner. What does it mean? It means if you are using some things, for example, if you are reading a excel file, if you are writing on an excel file, you don't need to write a n number of a code. Let's say I'm just showing you one demo. Let's say this is the excel file code. Okay, if you want to open a workbook, if you want to save the excel file what you have written, if you want to get the count of the excel file, if you want to get the cell data what is written inside the excel, that means, let's say, let me open this, open in Explorer. Let's say this is the excel file. So this is the data I have written. Okay, I want to open this principal. uh it will calculate the amount, which is this. I hope you remember one of the formula for simple interest, which is P into R into T divided by 100. And what does it? The maturity value. So this is the mathematical formula which you have seen. I have written these as a positive, this as a negative. What does it mean? After the simple interest gets calculated, this is the maturity value that you have been involved. Similarly, this is the maturity value. This is the maturity value. And if this value is on the website, let's say this is the website for, Let's say this is the website for finding the value. If I read this Excel file from here, enter the readed data, then whatever the calculated amount, this is the 2, instead of 2, let's say 2, select the simple interest, and after clicking on the calculate, this 24,000 and this 24,000 is matching, then it will write the test pass. If this amount and this amount is not matching, that it will return the file is test failed. So this is the expected, this is the actual execution after the script execution. So all those things that you need to do, that can achieved using a code which I have written here. If I run this file, automatically this website gets loaded, this amount from the Excel file gets read up, this test passed, this test failed will be starting executing. I will be showing you the later on demo about how does it look like. So this is why the framework gets involved. Means structuring the things in a easy manner that is necessary. For example, in API testing. So API testing simply involve 4 or 5 steps. What are those steps? So first steps is the payload, or you can say the data which is necessary. Let's say you want to fill any form for let's say SSC exam, or any your in exam, or in any you can say Geeks for Gigs registration. So these are the data which is necessary. So by providing a data in a payload form, in the JSON form, that is provided using this. Then this is the URL. URL means the website which we are hitting. Third is, you can say, the authentication, if you are a valid user or not, if you are a bot or not, or something like this can be achieved. Similarly, let's say there are some parameters which is involved. We will discuss all those things in in upcoming lectures when we have involved go to the API testing. I'm just providing you how the things will look like. So all those necessary details will be structuring in a line by line format, or you can say in a folder format, that will be helping you like this. If there is a involvement on the login page, there will be a login page gets created. All those UI things that is necessary. For example, this is the username, this is the password, this is the login button. These are known as web elements. So we need to find those web elements. Then we will, this is the login page. We will create a page object for this login page. Inside that page object, we will provide all those web elements, and on those web elements, we perform some actions. So this is why the development, or you can say framework, is necessary. So we have understand what is framework. Any doubt, guys, till now, you can just drop a note in the chat section. More familiar with Python? Are we going to use Java? We are going to use Java. Java normal, not JavaScript. JavaScript is used for you can say playwriting generally. Okay, so let's move on to the topic number 3. Why the framework development from scratch is necessary? You can say, what is test automation framework, which I have just shown you, that it is a structure to write and maintain test scripts effectively. Right, this is the test scripts for login page, such that the username is entering, password is entering, clicking is working fine. Similarly, assertion was done. Similarly, in this I will reading a file from Excel, and then after reading the file, we whatever the data we have read, those written things will be involved here. That data will be fetched from this file, will be added here, and then it will calculate, and this data, which is the actual result, and this is the expected result, will matching or not. If those are passing, that we will write here. So this is the, you can say, execution thing that is necessary for it. So why we need a build from scratch? You can see, for let's say you are a fresher, or you are say lesser than experienced person. So you are going to have a pre-written framework if you are joining any organization. Most of the times, let's say if you are joining Microsoft, or you can say you are joining a Aristocrat, which is a gaming domain company. If you are joining a Infosys, if you are joining a Wipro, if you are joining any other organization, if you have lesser experience, you will see the framework was already been developed. So you are going to use those framework in the real time perspective. You are not going to develop from the scratch. Sir, can you once manually test the last test cases? So the customization. So why from scratch? See, you are a learner, right? So you needs to understand from scratch, building block by block. You will able to log a bug. You will be understand how the debugging look like. You will understand how we are reading a data from Excel file. How the changes, if someone asks you change from here. Let's say you wants to change the URL which you are testing. Before that, you are testing on the this Instagram.com. And now instead of Instagram.com, the website has been changed to the Instagram 516, let's say. So where the file thinks the business has been changed, you have an adaptability. So that's why the building from scratch is necessary. You should have a customization. Once you start from scratch, then you will see better debugging, better logging, controlling over the test data, adaptability of the changes. Okay, so this is why the adapt was necessary. So real time benefit of the custom framework, if you are, let's say, if you have already built a framework and you have involved a reporting as well, let's say extent report you have chosen. So inside that extent report, let's say you have already automated 100 test scripts. So those reports will help you to guide how the behavior look like on the application. So integrate extent report to load for logging a screenshot. If some test case get failed, automatically the screenshot get captured. By looking into the screenshot, you will see why this test script has been failed. Example 2 for dynamic test management. Dynamic test management means fetching data from Excel using a utility class, like we did here. So what I have chosen here, let me just show you and trigger that one. You can see I have opened this website first. Okay, so this is the website I have chosen. After this, what we am doing, I am going to read the Excel file, which is test data demo, which is this one. Okay, so let's involve that and delete this text. Okay, intentionally I have deleted this one and closing now. If I open this test data again to show you how it is looking like this, you can see there is no such has been written here before executing the script. Now I am going to read the data line by line from the cell data, which is this one. The 2000, 4000, 10, 20 line by line. First line, first row this, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. Line by line I'm going to reach, and then I fetch data from this Excel file. Whatever the data I have fetched, I have will be write those data here only on this website. So this is known as you can say fetching data from Excel using a utility class. Once those has been done, we will be checking the actual result and the expected result. Which is expected result? This test data. This 24,000 and this UI 24,000, this one is matching or not. If those are matching, then I'm going to write in this Excel file as this text, test pass with the color as green if it passed. If get failed, it will fill the color as red. This is what I'm doing. Okay. Any doubt, guys, till now? So these are the customization thing why the framework is necessary. So all those code, you can say this get cell data. If I you can see this get cell data function has a lot of written of code. Instead of rewriting this code again and again, I have intentionally create one function with some parameters. Those parameter I will provide here, then automatically this will perform an action. Correct? So you can say this is the involvement. I'm just executing now to show you how does the execution look like. We are not going to much about the automation code we are going to write here. I'm just showing you the, you can say, demo how will the things was look like. Before that, you can see this is the UI for this test data documentation. You can see this website gets load automatically first, and there's a pop-up has been appearing to you. We just click the first automatic. You can see it was fetching the data from the Excel file. This is the 20,000 data, first row data. You can see now it changes again. It's changed to the 40,000. Rate of interest has been changed as well. Then the maturity value also changes. Now again, it will involve the second data, third row. Once third row was done, it will move to the fourth row. Once the fourth row was done, it will move to the sixth row. Once sixth row was done, you can say test execution has now done. Correct? You can see row count was 6. Cell count, it just an additional information. Forget about it. These are the things that is necessary for you. Test pass, test pass, test pass, test pass, and test fail. So this test case has been failed. Intentionally, I have added. So let's go to the documentation again to show you if it is written those text or not. You can see these text written automatically with green colors if it has passed. This test has been written automatically by the failed one. So this is known as actual execution. I didn't run anything. I only execute this XML file automatically. The things written here. This website gets loaded up. Pop-up will handle automatically. Whatever the expected result and the actual result, verification is also done. If both are matching, then we have written the text as well. We have filled the color on the Excel file. I hope you are able to go through it. Yeah, we will be learning each by each, every step from scratch. This is just an overview how the flow will look like in automation. Instead of doing the manual work, we are moving to the automation perspective. I hope you are able to got it. Any doubt, guys, so far? Yeah, Ankit, it's very interesting and amazing because you are going to, instead of executing manually thing, you are writing the code. Code writing is very amazing. So this is just an execution you can see. If you are writing the code from your own, from scratch, you will get to see how this get cell data function will creating, how this expected result in the actual execution will look like, how the if else will look like. Everything is very helpful for you and will help you if you are more mature into the automation testing, that you will see you will draw a lot of higher packages. I have involved, you can see there are probably you will be achieve nearly 50, 60, 70 lakhs as well if you are being a QA manager as well, as per the automation tester. If you are if you are moved to the instead of India, you will move to the different organizations, different locations, for such as Malaysia, Singapore, or West European countries. You will see a draw lot of packages as well. Just go through in LinkedIn job portal. You search the automation tester with different worldwide locations and check the salary drone. Similarly, in India as well, if you are comfortable in India, if you are living in India, you will see there are a lot of potential in the automation testing. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. The why we have learned the automation framework, why it is necessary. We have checked how the fetching data from Excel. We haven't understand the code because I haven't shown you. I'm just shown you the triggering point only. So what are the common framework in any organization you will see? There are a lot of frameworks you will see in the organization. If you are switching from one organization to another organization, you will see changes. But if you learn two or three basic framework, then you are compatible with any framework. What are those compatibility framework that you should have an idea? First is TestNG framework, which we have used here. Similarly, after the TestNG framework, Excel file reading is known as key key driven, or you can say the hybrid framework, where we have fetched the data from the keyword, and these known as test data driven as well. TDD approach is the common term you will see. And there is one more approach which is known as cucumber. Instead of this code thing, there is a one more layer. Let's say if you are don't involve any, you only know English language, you don't know about any sort of coding thing. So there is a role which is known as BA role. BA role will provide you these English languages. Being an automation tester, they will provide you this English code. Using this code, you will be asked to write a code which is Java. So uh, you will be link this English language to the Java code like this I have written here. So this is the second framework which is necessary or which is useful for you for English language conversion to the Java language code, which is this one. Being a automation tester, you should have an idea about these two framework at least. First is TestNG, where we involve the Excel file. Okay. Second is Cucumber, where the English language gets involved. That English language will be converted to the, you can say, the Java code itself only. Okay. Any doubt, guys, till now? Okay. So moving on to the what are the industry used framework we have. So the first thing is the basic framework for if you are a developer, you will see two framework. First is JUnit and TestNG. These are the unit test framework. As the name suggests, unit test framework means unit testing is done by the developer, generally, not by the tester, because you are involved in the integration majorly, or you can say module basis, not the unit basis. You are not going to test a single thing. You are going to test how integrated thing will look like. So unit test framework, you are going not going to use the JUnit. BDD framework is the second thing that is necessary for being an automation that tested. You should have an idea. Is Cucumber, or you can say SpecFlow. SpecFlow or a Cucumber, both are the same thing. Only the file name has been changed. Here the file name is, or you can say extension is dot feature. In the spec file, there is a different extension, dot spec file. Dot spec is the extension for that part. Okay. So both are the BDD framework. BDD means behavioral development, means how the behavior look like. If I validate login with the invalid credential, if I launch the browser with this URL, provide the username and password, which this first row and this second row, and then click on the submit button, this error messages will appear. Your username is invalid. Your password is invalid. Okay. So this is known as BDD framework. By you can say how the behavior look like. Like if we are behaving, how what I we are behaving. We are teaching. So I am teaching a language which is Java. So that language will be providing you. So I my behavior is teaching. Your behavior is studying. So every action have a behavior. Mobile have a behavior of calling. Instagram have a behavior of watching reels. The fixed calculator have a behavior of calculating the things. So those behavior will convert to the Java code is known as BDD framework. Third is hybrid framework. So the hybrid framework simply means the involve on the TestNG, the Excel file, and the POM. We will cover everything. What is Excel? What is POM? What is TestNG? How we are integrating all those things into one framework. So that framework is known as hybrid framework. For just information, TestNG is a running tool. Excel, we already know what is Excel. Excel is a you can say it's a tool provided by the Microsoft, which is used to store some data in a cell format. Then POM. POM is a page object model. For every page, there is a different class we are going to create. We will cover this everything when we move to this on the domain basis. Then there is a key driven framework where we involve two things. First is this Excel file, and there is also a robot framework. A robot framework is used for a Windows application. Okay. When we wants to fetch, select a file from a, you can say, from the Windows. Okay. So this is known as robot framework. Let's say I want to open this, let's say PDF converter. Merge file, select PDF file. So this is the window pop-up, right? On the web page, if I click on the select PDF, the window pop-up will appear. So to handle this framework is known as a robot framework. So there is a predefined code which is used for providing these things is known as robot framework. Similarly, Catalan. Catalan is used for logging things. There is a also known as Kafka. Kafka, Catalan, everything was same thing. So this Kafka is used for logging things. What sort of action you have done? For example, you have entered a username. If enter a password, if you have click on the username, every action have been logged. So these logging you can also store in the coding perspective as well. So these are the key driven framework. Then the data driven, which is Apache POI. Apache POI is a, you can say, jar files or the files which is used to read a Excel in the simple format. Sir, can you please share this PDF? Yes, I will be sharing this PDF, everyone, uh, through a channel. I will be providing this PDF to the team, and you will be go through this if you want. I probably this lecture is also being scheduled to the YouTube as well as per the live session, I guess. for more tracking purpose, I guess. I need to have a connect with the team about how we are going to do that. But I will be sharing this document with the team. Probably they will be providing you in the description section of the YouTube, or uh, probably they will going to mail you about it. It depends upon the timing perspective, you can say. Okay. So the next topic is known as TestNG. Basically, what does the TestNG look like? So, TestNG is used for only executing simple in the simple term, you can say. There are different annotations. We will be covering every annotations in later perspective. In as per for a manual tester, so you have written uh, a participant ask you to start a AI campaign. What is this a campaign? Okay. So this is the Excel, you can say, right? This is the first test case. This is the second test case. This is the third test case, fourth test case, fifth test case. These are the test cases which you have, right? So every test will execute line by line, will be performed by the TestNG using a at the rate test annotation. If you are not use the s at the rate test indication, it will not execute. Like in Java, there is a method, main method. Without any main method, we cannot run a code, right? There is one more way which we can run in the Java, but in general sense, you can say we cannot run our code without the main method. Similarly, in TestNG, if you want to run your code, then you needs to have at the rate test first. You can see let me open this test again. You can see I have intentionally added at the rate test. So that's why this function of testing whatever the action we have just shown you automatically that was involved gets involved. Without any at the rate test, this script won't work. So this is known as at the rate annotation test. Before class, after class, we will cover this later on. What is the testng.xml structure? So testng.xml structure is this one. This is the XML file. We will be sharing the necessary points later on. For an today perspective, I'm just showing you what is the necessary thing that you should have an idea. So first is the suit name. Suit name simply means the uh, you can say test case file. This is the file, right? Test data demo. In this file, these are the test cases, right? So similarly, here in the testng.xml, which which files you are run. So name of that file will act as a suit. Inside that suit, there are multiple tests. This is one test, this is second test, third test, fourth test, fifth test. So there we can have multiple tests involved into that part. Right now I've only involved one test. You can involve multiple as well. You can see there are two more as well: login test, automation test, money test. We can also add those as well here, like this. But use the test name at different, like everyone have a different name, right? My name is Ajay, and probably there are 155 person here as well, and you can see most of the people have a different name, right? So similarly, for identification for a better UI in the reports, we each provide a test name with a different name, so for more readability it will execute, but for more readability, it was expected to you to change the test name for more user. So this is a money test, but I want to act as a login test. So login test is the name of that part. Similarly here, automation test. So these are the three different tests that will execute. Okay, we will cover later on how the XML structure will look like. So what is the feature of why we involve the test ng? Why it is necessary? Why we are dealing all those things? See, first is parallel execution. What does the parallel execution simply means? You will do two things on the simultaneously. That means if I there are three tests. First is login test where we are checking the Instagram.com username password with providing incorrect data is throwing an accession error. In second test, I am checking this calculator, which is this file reading and then verifying all those Excel data, writing the test passed, test failed. Similarly, in automation test, I am just checking um the practice URL, which is this URL. Inside that URL, I am just checking that the text box on the web page is correctly written or not. So these are the three different tests, right? With three different URLs. So instead of writing, executing line by line, we can run those three scripts parallelly. One script, or you can say one thread. This is known as multi-threading. In Java, there is a topic known as multi-threading. Means there are different threads for different actions. We will involve three different threads. One thread will execute automation test. Second test will execute money test. Third test will execute login test. So that will reduce the hour of the execution. Let's take an example here for more understanding. Let's say login test. Login test take 10 seconds. Money test take 50 seconds, and automation test take, let's say, 40 seconds. So let's say in sequential manner, how does it take? What is the time involved? 10 plus 50 plus 40 means 100 seconds, correct? But in parallel, how much it takes? Three different tech, only single one. The maximum time is 50 seconds, correct? 50 seconds. So by choosing a parallel, we'll reduce the time by half, correct? So that's why the parallel execution is necessary. So TestNG provide you parallel execution. Similarly, you can provide the data. We will understand what is the data provider. Right now, we have which is the data provider? Excel is the data provider, correct? We are fetching the data from Excel. Those Excel file will be written here, correct? So data provider is also provided by the TestNG. We can group as well. Let's say uh, these are the three different tests. This is known as smoke test. This is known as sanity test. This is also a sanity test. So we can group them. If I want to execute only the sanity, that can also be done. Similarly, if I want to only execute the smoke, that can also be done. If I want to execute both smoke plus sanity, that can also be done. So these things will be supported by the TestNG. Okay. I just shown you one demo here, which already been done. So I just taught you how does it look like. Similarly, there is a cucumber framework. First is the Selenium, the TestNG. And then there is a one more steps, or you can say one more layer. That layer is an English layer. You can say same thing that we have done, we can do using a this English language. Everything that we have done will be first written into English code. That English code will be converted into a Java language, and this is how the execution in the Cucumber look like. For a demo perspective, I'm just opening one this URL. Let's say this is the URL. This is the URL. Okay. First, I choose this student 123 and password is this, and clicking on this submit button. This text is user is invalid. Then this is known as this is the student. This is the password. Your password is invalid. This text. This is the manual execution I have done. If I return into TestNG, it will convert like this, which we have seen. Then instead of doing all those things, we first return a English level code, which is this one. User open the Chrome browser, which is this one. User open this URL, which is this URL. User enter this username and password. So first it will involve this row. Then it will involve this row. Okay, then user click on the submit button, then user verify this one. So these action will convert into the Java code. That action will be performed here. So I'm just showing you one execution. Note the code because code involvement have a more knowledge, or you can say more thing that you should have an idea. You can see automatically Chrome browser gets open, the website gets loaded, and you can see the first browser has this message, right? Your password is invalid as well. You can see there are some expectation was failed. Your username is valid. So probably some validation. That means you can say at login number 69, this error is also, this is known as debugging. Which steps get it failed? Why it is failing? We needs to do that as well in the automation perspective. We will cover this later on. I will just showing you why intentionally I have done the same. Okay. I have incorrect added a use you can say element. So that's why it is not showing any text here. If I correct the use web element, automatically that text has been found and those will match. This error will gonna on. So this is known as debugging step. Any doubt guys till now? You can just drop a note in the chat section, guys. So this is known as you can say cucumber framework deep dive in. We will be covering everything, every code, every web driver, every element finding techniques, everything is we will covering later on in our upcoming lectures as well. Is just a demo how the automated things will look like, how the things will automate. Okay. So, being if you are involved, let's say you have already executed the things, test script had been failed, so it will generate a report. And how does it reports look like? We will be covering those as well. So, just give me one sec. Let me show you one of the image of how the reports will look like. If you choose one of the extend report, you will see this is how the open image in a new tab. Total test was 3. Total steps were 3. Uh, 67% has been passed, means 2 test case has been passed, 1 test has been failed. Which user has been executed, on which OS it was executed, which Java version you have chosen. Everything, every element will be done. How the time taken, 2 minutes 21 seconds. Overall times was taken. So these things will be generated automatically by the code when you involve these reports in your code in the extent report. So reporting was more helpful as well. When you involve the TestNG or the Cucumber, those will help you for a reporting, and that report will be shared to the higher management. Which is better, this Excel, this failure thing, or this UI? Which is better? Anyone can tell? Which UI is you will be seeing what helpful to you? This report you can share to the any management team, right? It just tell you you have executed 3 tests, 2 tests has been passed, 1 has been failed. Everything has been already been provided. So we just need to write a simple code. That simple code will generate these type of beautiful reports as you will be sharing to the management as well when we are dealing later on. Okay. So this is the just an information, guys, for today's lecture. This is a small updates for today. From upcoming lectures, we will have a better, more timing consuming sessions. My laptop battery is about to die, and I'm involved with a different location right now. So we will cover everything later on. So I hope you will understand whatever we have achieved. So as per the summary, I have written few 4 points, which is what is the manual testing, but it is a foundational thing you can say, but not scalable. If you are being a, or if you are working as a manual tester, you have lesser exposure. You already understand why you have moved. You wants to move to the automation tester because of the monetary purpose, because of the more coding knowledge, because of the more you can say involved in the job opportunity in the market as well. So that's why the summary for the manual testing. Then for the automation testing, you can say speed has been increased, confidence has been increased, consistency has been increased, real reliability product has been increased, better reporting you can say was involved into that part. So summary was more than you can say more involved in the automation. Then you will we will have discussion about the how the framework will look like. Only execution I have shown you. I haven't built from the scratch. Why we understand the framework scratch from was necessary because it help you for customization, logging, everything was necessary, giving a flexibility, which things you want to change. Then we will understand how the TestNG, how the cucumber is look like. We haven't understand only 5% as of today. We haven't gone through every perspective, every annotations. We haven't gone through what is XML, how does we create those XMLs. Everything was we cover later on. So similarly in the Cucumber, we will cover some test runner as well. Instead of running those things manually, automatically when we integrate with the CI/CD means this test runner file, this execution file will be automatically trigger at every day at 10 p.m. That can also be done. So this is known as CI/CD. What we will do tomorrow. So probably Teams has agenda for every Saturday, I guess, at 8 p.m. Not Saturday, Sunday. I hope. I will confirm with the team, I guess. Or you can have a connect with Rohit or any spokesperson with the Geek for Geek support team if you want, guys. So this is the just information lectures for the today's. This is a small lecture from upcoming lectures. Every duration is nearly 2 to 2.5 hours. This is just an information lecture. I hope everyone able to understand this today. So let's open the platform for the session, and I'm just stopping a screen now. So let's deal one by one. Uh, I hope you are able to understand it. So any doubt, guys? I hope you are able to clear out everything. Sir, can we get the PDF? Yes, you will. If you are probably this live session will also be involved onto the YouTube as well. If you go to the Geeks for Geeks channel, go through that. Probably you will see and drop a note in the comment section on that part as well. If you have any doubt or if this lecture is suitable to you, just drop a note as well. This we are able to understand it more. For me perspective, help me to guide how which things I needs to improve more. So, a roadmap for SDE. So the roadmap is for SDET. The role is SDET, not SDE. We are not involved with the software development. We are the automation tester. So automation tester have a different roadmap, and manual test, or you can say the SDE software development engineer have a different roadmap. Lucky. Sir, understanding and writing the code for the automation testing will be taught in the upcoming classes. Yes, it will. What about the attendance, sir? Attendance, even I don't have much idea. On our lectures, they have a criteria of 75% watching hours on the videos. Once you have achieved till the 75% of our lecture, probably you marked as a present, I guess. This is the things in the previous SDET batches. For SDET 16 I have seen the same. For SDET 13 I have seen the same. Probably same ideology will be here as well. Any other doubts, guys? You can speak up if you want, instead of writing. I want everyone to have a better interactive session, I guess. Let me join with my mobile as well, because my battery is about to die. Any other question, guys? Can't we use AI or API for automation task? We can use AI, and we also use API as well. How to know the class schedule, sir? The class will be scheduled at every Saturday around 8 p.m. Any other guys question? Is there no class in week days, sir? I don't think so. There is a weekday classes, because only on Saturday or daily. Only on Saturday, I guess we have a class, because on the daily basis I was involved on the some of the YouTube sessions for the Geeks for Geeks, and sometimes and also I'm working with one organization, so I will be involving more the times on the weekdays out there only. So that's why I've been involved in the Saturday Sundays. Not till next month. It was supposed to be done. It's a continuous process, I guess. They have been done. It's already been mentioned on the Geeks for Geeks, I guess. Any other doubt, guys? Just give me one sec. Let me join using Operation Plus. Any other question, you can just wrap a note, and probably this is the all the things that I have wanted to convey to you. We will have a better session later on. You can, yeah, you, we may leave now. Yeah, you can leave if you want. That's all for today, guys. And don't share your confidential detail, whether it's a LinkedIn profiles or any other sort of things. So the duration is basically 3 months for every for because from manual to automation testing, you need to have nearly 24 lectures, which you should have an idea, where we are dealing with the Java, where we're dealing with the Selenium, where we are dealing with identifying elements, where we are dealing with the GitHub, we are dealing with the CI/CD pipelines, we are dealing with the APIs, we are dealing with the one of the basic of APM testing, we are dealing with the uh, overall interview questions as well. So probably it will take nearly 3 months for the duration of the course to get completely hands-on about the manual to the automation perspective. Can you give me notes? Yeah, team will provide you the notes, I guess. They will have a resources folder. If you go to the documentation of the link of that, you will see the resources. Under the resources, you will find the PDF file which I have just taught you today. Where we can get the notes. You will get the notes on the website on the Geeks for Geeks under the resources folder. If you have purchased this course, you will have already have an access. If you are going to purchase, then you will see later on the permission. Probably team will provide you the permission on those. That will associate. That will question later to the support team. Are we providing assignment? Whatever work we are going to do on the lectures, that is your assignment, and also I will be providing you the questions which is necessary that you should have an idea or understanding before moving on to the next topic. So yeah, those assignment will be provided, and I will be you will needs to uh, and the randomly basis on any name, I will be ask you to show the screen share and show us what assignment you have done on the last lecture. Any other question, guys? If you don't have any doubt, you can just leave if you want. Thank you, guys. That's all for today. Bye bye.